which is a story about the magic mushrooms of wisdom and the poison of truth. Like taking a bite of the apple of wisdom. And that's why I chose the logo of the apple, which is taking a bite of wisdom, only to later find the deeper symbolic symbolism of the evil side of the apple of the witches, which is a sacred symbol of the feminine aspect of witchcraft, the goddess, the app of L, the pentagram in the center, or the mid-L of the app of L, the apple. And you'll notice that the apple is called a malice, which is the code word behind Alice. And now you'll also understand the Alice of Malice, which is the apple of Alice, or the malice. Like when the goddess Eve handed her sacred apple to Adam, the sacred symbol of the sex magic ritual, which is the sacred port of wisdom, the sacred port of El. And that's why the crazy Mad Hatter, or Mannahatta in New York, is considered the Big Apple of wisdom and poison. Thus, the sex magic ritual of Manhattan. And that's why we have the symbolism and the moon phase of the two pillars, or the male and the female, the moon and the sun. So now you know the secrets behind the Alice, the chalice, the magic mushroom, and the Mad Hatter, the Mannahatta, the man with the hat. And the bell magic mushroom is the secret hidden symbolism behind Santa Claus, which is known as anthropomorphism, combining human traits with that of an object. Now remember that it was the Dutch that discovered the Big Apple, Manhattan, or Mannahatta. Now remember that I am the one that discovered that on September 11th in 1609, the Dutch were the ones that discovered Manhattan. And they began the first World Trade Center there in 1613. Which coincides with the Federal Reserve in 1913, and of course the coming year of 2013. So the Royal Dutch have rulership over America, and their flag is red, white, and blue, which is why America's flag is red, white, and blue. Which brings us to the Dutch Netherlands in Apeldoorn, which is the portal or the doorway of the Apple Door, where we have the attack on Queen Beatrix of the Netherlands on her birthday, where we have the royal ritual of the black car crashing into Bell, or the obelisk. So in 2009, on bus 11, the Queen was attacked, but the car missed her and swerved and crashed into the obelisk. And you'll notice that the Queen was adorned all in blood red, complete with her red cap, the cap that kills. And that's exactly why the red cap of death made sure that there were plenty of sacrificial victims for her royal ritual. And April 30th is supposed to be the Queen's birthday, but really it's the day of Beltane, the day or the eve of May Day, or the Germanic eve of Bel, the fertility maypole day. Think about it. What are the chances that the exact day a car crashes into the symbol of the sun or the obelisk, and the same exact time when they worship the sun or the maypole? And then the men in blue responded, or the royal men in blue, the police officers. And so now you'll know why they're called a police officer, or a pull-ice-off-icer, as in the maritime admiralty laws, because the waters of Mary are the goddess, the god of ice. And remember that the North Star, or the Pole Star, is called the Polaris Star, or the Pole Ice Star, that was invented and founded by the Phoenicians. And that's why in the Polar Express, or at the North Pole, we see the Illuminati symbol of the pole, or the tree, the North Pole tree, and the star on top, or the North Star. You see, the pole of the North, or the North Pole, is the exact same pole that is worshipped during May,
the maypole. It's just a different time of the year during Christmas when we worship the pole of Santa Claus. So now you'll understand the pedophile film of The Polar Express, where the old man takes away the little boy and takes him to the promised land, takes him to the Mount of Sinai, the mountain of the moon, the Mount of Sin, which is on top of the pole. So once again, we see the symbolism of the black and the white car. And the black car is actually a Suzuki Swift with the symbolism of the runic sun, the symbol of the sun. And the Germanic connection continues when the Dutch became upset at the Queen for marrying into German blood, exactly like the Germanic blood of the Windsor family. And that's exactly why we see Harry supporting the Nazi regime. And the man in the blood-red sweater that was driving the SS car is named Karist Tates, as in castrates, like the ancient castration ritual of Saturn. And in Dutch, the name Karist means glim, like a shining candle lamp. So in the month of April, the month of Fools, we see the traveling fool traveling down the road of the jackass, the road of the jachlin, the jack of the land, the fool. And of course, it takes place at the crossroads. And that's exactly why the United Kingdom has the symbol of the flag that is known as the Union Jack, the jackass. And the obelisk at Apeldoorn is known as the Needle, or the Need of El. And the Illuminati dedicated the needle on a full moon. And they held the memorial for the sacrifice on the night of the full moon. And on the night of the full moon, 1 year later, on the eve of May Day, Beltane, the Queen, dedicated the box to the victims with 7 white balloons and 7 blue balloons, as above, so below. So you see, actually, the balloon is a symbol of the male fertility sperm. And that's why on your birthday, you get balloons, because balloons are the symbol of the fertility of your birth. Like in the Disney Pixar film, Up, the pedophile film that shows the old man with the little boy. So now you'll understand why they called the film Up, so that the old man can get it up.
Afternoon. I would like to award you the highest honor I can bestow. The Yelly Badge. The Yelly Badge. Wow.
Alright, I think that covers it.
You see, the balloon is a fertility symbol of Baal, Bel-El, and as above, so below, because what we're talking about is the Baphomet, or the buffoon, which is the jokester, the trickster, the clown, and that's exactly why clowns give balloons at parties. You see, the clown is the trickster, or the Baphomet, the buffoon, who is the jester, or the clown, that actually hands out balloons, because a balloon is a bag of wind, which is the meaning behind a buffoon. And that's exactly why those 7 balloons represent the 7 buffoons that were sacrificed. Again, the secret symbol of the air. A death, sacrifice, rebirth, fertility ritual. And for those that don't think that the balloon comes from Baal, why do you think you go to a ball dance where you pick up on a mate, and that's why she wears the bell dress? And by the way, where do you think we get the word mate? From May 8. the 8 witches' Sabbaths a year, the 8 fertility times in a year, that the male and the female connect as one. Just like today, when we're feeling horny, we go to a nightclub or a disco where they have the disco fertility ball, searching for a hot mate. And hopefully, if you're a baller, later you'll be balling and having a ball. And like I said, all sports have balls because it's a symbol of the fertility ritual. And that's why in sports you do the victory dance.
The victory dance. Just give a victory dance.
You did it, partner! And I almost took it too easy off for you, and Scott got a run on me, but but I just want to thank everybody, my crew doing super pit stops, and my sponsor Valvoline, and everybody, I tell you.
Hey, when you were a kid, Al, you waited for this moment. You dreamt about it, to take the swig of milk, emblematic of winning the Indy 500. Al, let me ask you.
So now you'll understand why in New York on New Year's Eve, in Manhattan, in Times Square, we have the ball. It's the celebration of the end of time and the birth of new time. And remember that midnight marks the time when the moon is the most high, directly over the pole. Like when the goddess Isis mounted the dead phallic of Osiris, the tree, the trunk, and they shoot the fireworks into the air as a male and female macrocosm-microcosm sex magic ritual. The firework, witchcraft, sex magic, or the candle, which is the can of El, the fertility penis of El, or Bel, the light of El. And that's exactly why you hold the fertility symbol of the phallus penis, and they want you to pull on it. Pull the shaft, or the penis pull, which produces the spark or the orgasm. The old fertility pull and the ball, going around, up and down, having a ball. And that's exactly why the goddess has a ball on the pole. Up and down, spinning around, upside down. And I'm showing you the ball on the pole sliding up and down so that you'll understand the true meaning of this.
State of New York, it's been big news all along. And there they are right now, and we'll let you enjoy the sights and sounds live from Times Square, the dropping of the ball.
And just like May Day, the worship of the fertility pole, we have the New Year's Eve worship of the pole and the ball. Notice how the female is sliding down the male phallic pole. And that's why America is based upon the sex connection of the male and the female, or intercourse, the magic of the spark of orgasm. Thus the reason that we have the maypole, the penis pole that connects to the oval office, or the woman's ovaries, which is the meaning behind the word oval, which is an egg. And in the DC layout, you'll notice that there is a triangle, or an inverted triangle, or a V, which is the female delta, and that's why it's laid out exactly like the female uterus. And right where the ovaries is right where the White House is. And that's why the president of the Queen Bee sits inside of the oval egg, or the oval office, the sacred circle. And remember that Bel means white, or bright light, and that's exactly why we have a White House, or the House of Bel, the Bell House, the White House. And you'll also find the sex magic of the female uterus at the Vatican, or the Mother Church. You'll see the oval egg and the 8-pointed star with the obelisk in the center. And the fertility of the bull god Zeus is the fertility behind the Vatican, which is the Jupiter or the Peter, Saint Peter, the fertility of the penis Peter, which is why he's the head of the